Hi guys, today we're going to look at synthetic division, and synthetic division is this really awesome shortcut for long division. So yesterday we worked on that long process, and some problems can be kind of lengthy. Synthetic division though, there's a couple of ideas about synthetic division to keep in mind. Right here, this first part, when it says it only works when dividing by a binomial in the form of x minus a or x plus a. It cannot be like 3x plus 1 or something like that. So the coefficient of x must be 1 in order for this to work. And then I do have some steps listed here that you're welcome to come back to. But I think once we go through the examples, you'll get the hang of what we're going to do here. When we set up our synthetic division, we are going to be taking the coefficients of each of these terms. So I am going to begin with writing down the 3, leave a little bit of space. I'm going to write down the 2 and the negative 7. And then I want to draw this partial box around it, and you want to leave an open spot here. We're going to put some numbers here in a minute. Okay, and then on the outside, I am going to take the value of 5, not negative 5, but positive 5, and put it on the outside. The reason for that is when we look at the format of synthetic division, it's in the form of x minus a. So I only want to grab the a, which is positive 5. So first step here, we are going to just bring down the number 3. Okay, all the rest of the steps we are going to be multiplying the value I have right here, my 3, times my divisor. So 5 times 3 is 15. I'm going to write that result in the next spot. And then we're always going to be adding. So we're going to do 15 plus 2, which is 17. So I'm going to do 17 times my 5 here. So 17 times 5 is 85. So that will come over here to this next spot. And then I'm now going to add negative 7 plus 85, which is 78. So I want you to put a box around that last number always, because that is our remainder. So the first coefficient will be put back with a variable. And so when we do our division, it won't go with x squared, but it will go with x. So my answer is going to be 3x plus 17. And then my remainder, remember we write it as 78 over, and then I'm going to go back to the divisor, x minus 5. So 78 over x minus 5. So that is my answer. And if I would have done long division, I would get the exact same answer. Okay, so let's try that on another problem. So I'm actually going to do number 3 below. So let me get that set up. Get rid of that line right there. All right, so I'm going to move that up there. Okay. Oops. Okay, number 3. So remember, step 1 is to take the coefficients here, and we're going to write those down. And notice it's x squared x and then no variable. And so that's going to be very important that it goes in standard form like that. So I've got 4, I've got 7, and 10. And then put this kind of rectangle around it, leave a space. Now, the number on the outside this time is going to be negative 2. Okay, and remember, that's in the form of x minus a, and a in this case is negative 2. So you're always going to do the opposite. So step 1 is to bring the first number down, the 4. Then I multiply this bottom 4 right here times the 2. So that is going to be negative 8. So I'm going to write that result here. Then I'm going to add. So negative 8, 7 plus negative 8 is negative 1. And then I multiply again. I'm going to multiply negative 1 times negative 2 here. And that is positive 2. So I'm going to write that result over here. And then I'm going to add, and I get 12. So put a box around the last number. That's your remainder. So my answer here, since I start right here with x squared, my answer will start with x, the next lowest exponent. So my answer is 4x minus 1 plus, and my remainder is going to be 12 over the original divisor, x plus 2. That is the answer. So, way quicker than long division. So, let's do keep drawing on that. Let's do number 3, or actually number 2. So, I'm going a little bit out of order here, but let's go to number 2. Okay, number 2, you are going to need to bring your coefficients down. Now, pay special attention here. I see x to the 4th, x to the 3rd's missing, and then x squared, and then x, and then my plain coefficient or my constant is missing. I want to put a 0 in s placeholders. So I have a 7. There's my x to the 4th term. My x to the 3rd term is missing, so I'm going to put a 0 as a placeholder. Now my x squared term is 13. My x term is -6. My coefficient or my constant is a 0. So I do need to have those placeholders. Okay, put this rectangle. Positive 3, x plus 3 is the divisor, so I need to make my number on the outside a -3. All right, step 1, bring down your 7. Then we're going to multiply 7 times -3 and write that result here, -21. So 0 plus -21 is -21. Now I'm going to multiply -21 down here times -3. That is 63. So I'm going to put 63 right here. Now I'm going to add 13 plus 63, which is 76. Okay, now multiply 76 times -3. And that result will be written here. That is -228. Now add -6 plus -228. That's -234. And we're going to do another multiplication. -234 times a -3. And you're going to write that here. So that result is 702. Okay, add 0 plus 702. And I get 702. Put a box around it. That is your remainder. So I had an x to the 4th in my dividend, so my first number down here will be x to the 3rd. So your solution is 7x to the 3rd minus 21x squared plus 76x minus 234 plus my remainder 702 over x plus 3. And that is it. So let's finish up here. I want you to try number 4 on your own. I want you to pause the video, and when you're done, come back and check your answer. Okay, so I'm going to start with my 2, my -6, my -12, and on the outside is going to be a +8. Bring down the 2. 2 times 8 multiply, I get 16. -6 plus 16 is 10. Multiply 10 and 8, 80. -12 plus 80 is 68. That's your remainder. So the answer is 2x plus 10 plus 68 over x minus 8. And that is synthetic division.